Because in the end, we are not trying to recreate the scientifically correct real world. We're trying to create a believable world, one the audience can immerse themselves in to experience the story. We use science to create something wonderful. We use story and artistic touch to get us to a place of wonder. This guy, Wally, is a great example of that. He finds beauty in the simplest things. But when he came into lighting, we knew we had a big problem. We got so geeked out on making Wally this convincing robot that we made his binoculars practically optically perfect. His binoculars are one of the most critical acting devices he has. He doesn't have a face or even traditional dialogue, for that matter. So the animators were heavily dependent on the binoculars to sell his acting and emotions. When we started lighting him, we realized the triple lenses inside his binoculars were a mess of reflections. He was starting to look glassy-eyed. Now, glassy-eyed is a fundamentally awful thing when you are trying to convince an audience that a robot has a personality and he's capable of falling in love. So we went to work on these optically perfect binoculars, trying to find a solution that would maintain his true robot materials but solve this reflection problem. So we started with the lenses. Here's the flat front lens, we have a concave lens, and a convex lens, and here you see all three together, showing us all these reflections. We tried turning them down, we tried blocking them, nothing was working. You can see here, sometimes we needed something specific reflected in his eyes, usually Eve. So we couldn't just use some faked abstract image on lenses. So here we have Eve on the first lens, we put Eve on the second lens, it's not working. We turn it down, it's still not working. And then we have our eureka moment. We add a light to Wally that accidentally leaks into his eyes. You can see it light up these gray aperture blades. Suddenly, those aperture blades are poking through that reflection the way nothing else has. Now we recognize Wally as having an eye. As humans, we have the white of our eye, the colored iris, and the black pupil. Now Wally has the black of an eye, the gray aperture blades, and the black pupil. Suddenly, Wally feels like he has a soul, like there's a character with emotion inside. Later in the movie, towards the end, Wally loses his personality, essentially going dead. This is the perfect time to bring back that glassy-eyed look. In the next scene, Wally comes back to life. We bring that light back to bring the aperture blades back, and he returns to that sweet, soulful robot we've come to love. There's a beauty in these unexpected moments. When you find the key to unlocking a robot's soul, the moment when you discover what you want to do with your life.